Hey there, my fellow hunters. Welcome to another video I'd like to share with you guys. And it is a new build that I actually had fun using on one of my hunts. First off, I'd like to say thank you guys for all the comments and liking my previous videos, and I appreciate all the helpful information and thoughts in the comments. It really helped motivate me to create more hunting horn videos, and hopefully one of my builds can help you out against monsters that you're actually having trouble with, or for multiplayer purposes. You're probably having a rough time going against Temper Seregios, better known as Steve. Especially responding to SOS, you'll have players that'll probably faint in the middle of your quest because of this monster, getting tired of healing up and crouching to make the bleeding status effect to go away, or possibly a longer hunt that lasts 18 to 22 minutes. What if I told you I got a build that'll help make the hunt against Temper Seregios easier, and by giving you some gameplay tips as a guideline, all in this video? Well, you're in luck, because that's what this video is going to be all about. Let's delve right into this. So let's go ahead and start with the build itself. What we're looking at is a 4-piece beta of a Seregios set, which are the head, arms, waist, and legs, along with the 1-piece beta of Zoashia, which is the chest. We also have a change charm for our talisman slot to give 2 levels of burst. And I still love the burst skill on my hunting horn, and it's just so freaking good and underrated skill in my opinion. We're also going to change our mantle from the healing mantle to the evasion mantle to perform these evade attacks and increase our attack output even more to our build. In case you don't know what the evasion mantle does, let's go over that real quick. When evading attack, triggers a special evasive maneuver animation that boosts attack and alters combos while leaving you unharmed. It increases your attack by 1.2% for 10 seconds from every dodge you perform. The effect times are 105 seconds and it goes on cooldown for 600 seconds, which is like 10 minutes. So you're gonna get used at the mantle probably one time if the hunts are quick. You can use any hunting horn you like depending on which monster you are hunting, but my main choice would be the Arshian weapons Omotika, and the ailment is paralysis, which I believe is quite strong with this build. And the melodies that comes with this hunting horn are status attack up, divine protection, all ailment negated, echo wave, and offset melody, which all are perfect against Seregios, which I'll be talking later in the video, and our secondary for our buffs will be the Great Bagpipes for our attack up large and earplugs level 2, which is enough for us not get interrupted by its roar. With these 2 weapons as our setup will make the Temper Seregios fight a lot useful for you and your fellow hunters. Let's check out the decoration and the skill list for this build. What we got here is level 5 attack boost, level 2 horn maestro, level 1 critical eye, level 5 adrenaline rush, agitator and burst, level 3 speed eating and recovery up, last but not least, level 1 evasive window. Introducing this main skill for this build will be adrenaline rush. Temporary increases attack power after executing a perfectly timed evade just as the monster attacks, which in our case level 5 increases our attack by plus 30. Why we are discussing this skill? Because it ties with the Seregios set bonus called Razor Edge. Extend the duration of Adrenaline Rush, which is 30 to 45 seconds. Trigger again while the skill is active, extends the effect duration once, which add an extra 15 seconds to the duration. Since we are level 2 for the skill set, it has an additional effect. If triggered again while the skill is active, further increases attack, which is 3 to 4% raw attack. This is basically a dodging game, which against Seregios, you are going to be doing that constantly. But these skills combined together against Steve is going to be very beneficial to you. There is an alternative charm you can actually wear, and that is the evasion charm level 4, which max out your evasion window exactly. But you'll lose 2 levels of burst, which is still pretty good in case you need more practice evading at the right time for the monster attack. To quickly summarize the build, we got a lot of attack increase, but lack affinity, which is not a problem because it still meet high numbers from my previous builds. The Affinity adds up to 5% for our base weapon, 4% our critical eye, and 15% of agitator, which adds up to be 24% affinity. Possibly 5% more if you haven't found those god rolls on the Artian weapon and you got one of them to be an affinity increase. Either way, it's still freaking strong. Alright, let's go over to some guidelines fighting against Temper Steve. We can safely say that everyone knows Seregios can apply a nasty bleed status effect that can be quite annoying to deal with, right? So there are a couple of ways to get rid of that status effect, which obviously is by crouching and not moving will cause it to go away over time. Another way is using wild jerky that not only make the bleed status effect go away, but recovers the red portion of your health immediately upon use. The final way is the one I suggest you use and is the reason why Artian weapon is so freaking amazing, especially against Seregios, and that is the all ailment negated melody. This song will negate the bleeding buildup and apply this buff to you and your teammate as well, so they don't have to worry about the status effect and just continue fighting the monster. Next, how to read the common moves of Seregios is going to do. Let's take a look at this clip and check it out. What we got here is one of my hunts against Temper Seregios in the rage mode, and I want you guys to see the clip, and then we will wind it to the beginning to explain. Okay, let's go ahead and reverse that. So mainly, I just want to take this step by step what we just witnessed here. So now we saw the clip of two move sets we want to pay attention to. So the first one here, this is the pin attack where Seregios jumps in the air and flies counterclockwise direction around you to attack its target. And oftentimes, if the attack lands, you get slightly knocked down, and it forces you to get grabbed by Seregios by its feet and toss you into the ground like a rag doll. And it's going to start doing these fast chicken scratch attacks, and you can either move to the left or right before the last attack knocks you back. Or you can use a flash pod the moment Steve starts with the chicken scratch attacks. However, we are not going to take that attack. Instead, we are going to dodge it. And in order to dodge it, I highly suggest you move forward, which is away from the camera, when Seregios reach the half circle pattern it created, as you see here. Really easy move to memorize when you do happen to notice this attack pattern. Let's continue to our next particular move from Seregios is the 2x2 combo. Notice the first pattern is defeat attacks, where it has the animation that looks like it's scratching the ground, but it's actually coming into contact to the hunter as an attack. And that's where you know you are the target, my friend. It doesn't trip you or knock you back if you're in the middle of your attack animation. It just damages your health. And you can dodge these attacks to trigger the adrenaline rush really easy. But what comes after that, I need you to pay attention because you're going to have to assume it's going to do this 2x2 combo move, which is 90% certain it will. You see how Steve just takes a small step back and then jumps up in the air to aim and charge with its two legs in a vertical downward direction. And the animation is kind of like the baseball player that's sliding to the base with his feet. The best way to handle this attack that you can just dodge to the side, either left or right side of the attack. And it's going to do this animation twice, whoever the target is. There will be times where you can just simply casually walk to the side because the hitbox is very small if you have the distance. It doesn't stop attacking there. Let's go ahead and view a little bit more. After doing those 2 slide attacks, it's going to follow up 2 horizontal swipe attacks with his feet. The first one will be right to left. Then the second one will have a 1-second pause to follow up a swipe attack left to right. Now, there are going to be times where you are going to have to dodge against this attack if you are in range of this animation move and might get hit. So be sure to time those dodges precisely. But to make it easier for that attack not being ranged, always assume after doing those 2 vertical swipe attacks, move away to gain distance from Steve's next movesets, which is the horizontal swipe attacks. If you are facing Steve during this attack, move and dodge toward the camera's direction. Don't dodge back if your character is facing Seregios, because you're going to get stuck with the animation that takes forever to respond to the second swipe attack, and there's a high chance of getting hit by that attack. Just have your character face the camera, go towards that direction, and dodge those 2 attacks. After successfully dodging all those attacks, Steve will land and roar for a couple of seconds, but at this point, it's a very great opportunity to focus strike Steve's left leg. But the window of opportunity is short, so be sure to get that chance when you can. Now, here's also another moveset that kind of throws players off when you know it's doing the 2x2 combo. But after those 2 vertical swipes, instead of the 2 horizontal swipe attacks, it does a range attack that throws blades at you from his tail like a bow spread shot. With the follow-up 1-second delay animation, then it's getting ready to do a huge foot slam attack from the skies into the ground. Very impactful indeed. Let's take a look at this clip here, and I'll reverse it to explain a little bit more. Alright, so now we saw the animation moveset. This move, you can either time your dodge or Superman dive it. I've seen this move one-shot players if they didn't dodge it properly. The best possible way I could say to counter this move is just keep moving while having that distance to dodge, because it locks into the area from that 1-second delay when it's ready to charge into the ground. Be sure when in multiplayer, be aware where you're going to dodge this attack so you can know you won't put other teammates in danger there as well. You can then follow up a focus strike with its legs stuck in the ground and trying to pull it out if you can. Those are the most important moves to look out for, and I can bet you that once you realize these moves by heart, you're gonna have a sweet time doing your combos with those window of opportunities. Now, there are a couple rules that should be followed when going into the multiplayer against Steve. For any reason, do not flash spot it, other than saving a teammate from getting pinned, or it's close to dying and it's about to move to the next area, and you can blind it to bring it down and trap Steve to be captured or slayed. From my multiplayer hunts, I've seen other hunters flash pot it in the middle of its 2x2 combo. It'll stay down for a bit while it's on its first blind, but after it gets up, you're gonna have a bad time. Only because Blind Steve can guess really good where to hit you due to your reaction time and the hitbox of its quick swipe attacks for those melee weapons who are in range. And it always does its 2 vertical feet swipe attacks constantly, and it just wastes time for everyone because it probably is going to go in the direction far away from you guys, so you're going to have to run to it. But there's also a 50-50 chance that it might turn around and blindly hits you with less reaction time, and you're going to have to heal up and then get back in, and it does it again. With that being said, you're better off just following his animation move and reacting to closing your attack with your awareness in check. Next, remain calm at all times. There will be times where you take a huge hit and you call your secret to safely move away from the area to avoid more hits and heal up. But there will be a great chance that Steve will still go after you and cause you to panic to quickly get away to an unsafe area. Try your best to control the area you want to fight it in. I have seen my hunts where one of the hunters took a huge hit and ran away into a narrow, small hallway size that forced the fight there, and did not have enough space to gain distance to dodge the 2x2 combo, and a couple of them ended up fainting afterwards. Lastly, work smart, not hard. I know, I'm using a real life workplace quote, but it also applies to wilds. Use the environment to your advantage. Be sure to bring lure pods, traps, and other items to use for your advantage against temper Seregios. The game wants you to use the knowledge and tools as a hunter to help make the hunts less punishing. Alright, that is the conclusion to this video. I wanted to apologize for this long video, but it is a format I'm currently working on, and see if you guys prefer just the build when the title updates are released. I can do that, but if you like how the way I made this video with the build and tips going against the new monsters that the hunting horn users are having trouble with, I can do that too. Let me know in the comments if you like this format, and until then, take care, and I'll see you guys on the upcoming title update 2.5 changes for the hunting horn.